All right, all right, all right. So in our last video, we talked about VPN. And now we're going to talk about NIDS and nipples because I like talking about that kind of stuff. Just kidding. We're going to talk about NIDS and NIPS, network intrusion detection systems and network intrusion prevention systems. Okay. So a NIDS does exactly what it sounds like it does. It detects. A NIPS detects and blocks threats. Man, that rhymes. Yeah. All right. So what you want to do with a NIDS, usually what happens is, an administrator will install it on a router or a unified threat management appliance or firewall. And it's installed as a sensor. So it can either be on its devices or it can be installed on other devices at different places in the network. And usually all this data is being sent into like a central management console. The key thing you need to remember about NIDS and NIPS is that they include a packet analyzing capability. So they can actually sniff the network and inspect the traffics. Inspect the traffic, not traffics. But one thing you need to know about NIDS, a limitation, is that it can't inspect encrypted traffic. It can only inspect clear text traffic. In addition, it can't inspect any threats that are occurring at the host level. So if you have a server that's infected or a workstation, it's not going to be able to respond to that. But that being said, they're very simple. They're usually cheaper. And you can send all these alerts, all these events to a central console, and an administrator can respond. Maybe it's through an email or a text message or something like that. Now, there are actually two kinds of detection methods. There's signature-based, which is basically also known as a definition, and also anomaly-based, also known as behavioral-based or heuristic-based detection algorithms. So signature-based, you're basically looking at an event against a known attack pattern. And, I think about the Apache 2 zero-day vulnerability, CVE-2017-5638. I think that's the CVE number. You guys can cross-check that. But it's a known attack pattern, so you can create a rule to look for that kind of thing. But of course, it's easy to evade. Obviously, you can change a single bit, or maybe you change the attack pattern just by a little bit, and now you get past the IDS. Another often better approach is to use anomaly-based detection, where you are comparing current operations against a previously established performance baseline. And you're looking to see where the current event varies outside the boundaries of that baseline. And then you can either trigger an alert, or you can detect it, or you can block if you're an IPS. Now, to be honest with you, most organizations aren't using IDSs anymore. They're using IPSs, and it's built into most unified threat management appliances anyway. So it's pretty common. And it's the reason why it's so popular is because it sits in line, and therefore it's able to block a threat before it becomes sort of actualized. Preemptively, it can block it. Think about this scenario, okay? Let's say, you're a network administrator, and a user sends you an email, and you do some research and you find out what happened. Let's say a determined human adversary sends a specially crafted email to a victim in your organization, and it contains a Word document attachment which includes a malicious macro. The attacker socially engineers his victim into executing the macro, thus infecting the machine. It drops a second stage binary, which allows the attacker to gain covert access to that box anytime he wants. Then he can pivot, he can spread laterally, he can expand his influence to move to other machines in the organization, all while inside. So he's already inside. See, a traditional firewall will typically block incoming connections. But what happens if you're already in and you're just moving to other VLANs, or you're trying to move laterally to other systems on the inside? That's where an IPS can come in handy. And that's one of the reasons you should use it, okay? So that's all I'm going to talk about for today. I'm going to keep this really, really simple. I try to keep the video short. Let me know if you're liking these videos in the comments. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment as well. And tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, we are going to dig into protocol analyzers, baby. All right, so you don't want to miss that. Thumb this video up if you thought it was informative. Click the subscribe button. If you want to get more stuff like this in the future and you want to pass this exam on the first try, I'm going to help you do that, all right? So that's it for now. I will see you tomorrow morning.